Welcome. Today's webinar will focus on specialty programs at Prince William County's middle schools. My name is Kelly Brown. I'm a supervisor of advanced academics and specialty programs. Throughout the webinar today, we will cover a lot of information regarding specialty programs. If you do have any questions after the webinar, please feel free to reach out to us at aasp@pwcs.edu. In addition, much information about our specialty programs can be found on our website, pwcs.edu/specialty programs. We will review some of this information today, but that's also a resource for families after today's webinar. The purpose of today is to make sure that families understand what specialty programs are. We want to make sure you have an opportunity to see the various specialty programs at the middle school level. And we want to make sure that you understand the specialty program application process, deadlines, and supports that are available to families and students. What are specialty programs? Specialty programs are unique to Prince William County. They focus on career exploration, subject area concentration, and college and university preparation. All of our middle school programs are interest-based programs, indicating that there are not requirements for students to enter into these programs, but there may be requirements for students to remain in the program. Specialty programs in Prince William are available at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. We are going to focus today on the middle school levels. Students will participate in one specialty program at the middle school level. And students who do attend a specialty program at the middle school level will attend the school that hosts the specialty program full-time. They won't go back and forth between their neighborhood or their zone school and the school that hosts the specialty program. They would attend the school that hosts the specialty program full-time. We'll talk a bit more about that later on. Should I apply to a specialty program? This is a question that is best answered by a student and their family. There is not a general, excuse me, or generic answer that I have for this. It truly is specific to each student. What I can share with you, though, are different steps that we recommend students and families walk through to see if a specialty program is the right program for them. Step 1, create an interest list. This is a list of activities or topics that a student may have interest in outside of adult direction. Okay, these are things such as maybe building with Legos, okay, or constructing out of different household items you find around the house, okay, any interest that a student may have. Then we're going to ask you to look at your neighborhood school. This is the school that your student would attend based on their address. If you need help finding out what that neighborhood school is, we recommend that you go to Google and search Find My School PWCS, and that will help you identify what school your student would attend based on your address. Look at your school, see what programs they have, see what courses they offer, what clubs are available. Get a feel for your neighborhood school. Then you're going to start to look at other programs, looking at specialty programs, looking at where they're located, and how will those logistics fit with your family. Once you've had the opportunity to research both your neighborhood school and any specialty programs you may be interested in, then we want you to go back to that interest list and start thinking through, are these programs aligned with my interest? If they are, this may be a great opportunity for you. Students are not required to apply to a specialty program. This is an opportunity that is available to students. I want every family to know and understand that no matter what middle school your student attends, they will receive a high quality education in Prince William. Specialty programs are an option, not a requirement. We have multiple program locations throughout the division. one of the things that a family will need to consider when a student is looking at a specialty program is what program location would that student attend? Okay, I'm going to use the example here on the screen with our math and science program. We have 3 locations for math and science programs in Prince William. We have a location at Graham Park, one at Marsteller Middle School, and one at Ripon Middle School. We're very intentional with our attendance areas or schools that are zoned for that specialty program to eliminate students from having to travel across the county. Okay, so I've given you an example. I'm a student I am zoned for Reagan Middle School, and I'm interested in the math and science program. Where would I go? And based on looking at the schools zoned for the various programs, this particular student would go to Marsteller. What that means for the family is they need to consider, how does that work with their family situation? Okay, how will their student get back and forth from the school from their home to the school? How will that impact their participation in after school activities? Okay, looking at it from the family perspective. We do provide transportation for our specialty programs, but that transportation looks different from our traditional transportation. We do offer traditional transportation for students who live within the boundaries of their neighborhood school. Okay, so for a student who lives within the boundaries, using our example from previously, who lives within the boundaries of Marsteller, would ride the bus like any other student who's not participating in a specialty program there. Oftentimes those bus stops are at the corner of their street, maybe a couple streets over, but they provide access within the neighborhood school boundaries to that school. Okay. Our express bus service, this is going to be how many of our students access specialty programs outside of their neighborhood school. These are stops that are outside those neighborhood school boundaries that provide access to a specialty program. These are often in hub situations where students would meet at the local elementary school or a nearby park so that they could access that specialty program. I'll show you in a moment an example of how this may look for a student. We do predetermine those specialty program express bus stops, and we'll show you how to find that information on our website. So I give you 2 different examples. Okay, the students on the the left-hand side of your screen are zoned for Marsteller Middle School, and they're attending Marsteller Middle School. These 2 students are going to access traditional bus transportation. You can see one of the students 0.2 miles from their home to their bus stop, very reasonable distance for a middle schooler to travel. Student B, however, is a walker. This particular student would walk to Marsteller Middle School. Okay, so their distance to school may be a little bit longer. Both of these students are attending their neighborhood or their zoned school, okay, and they would access traditional transportation. The 2 students on the other side in the orange boxes, these students are zoned for Parkside Middle School, but they're attending the math and science program at Marsteller Middle School. Okay, they're going to be accessing an express bus stop. And both of these students have chosen Mullen Elementary as their express bus stop because that's what works best for their family. Student C is going to travel 0.6 miles. Okay, we don't know what roads this student may have to cross or anything like that, but that student's going to go 0.6 miles to get to school, or get to their express bus stop. A little bit further than most middle schoolers are looking, or most families are looking for their middle schooler to travel on foot first thing in the morning. Okay, still not as far as the walker, so it's potentially doable. You would just want to make sure you know what that route is. Student D, however, is 2.3 miles from their express bus stop. Okay, this family is going to need to look to see how are we going to be able to get our student to and from the express bus stop each day. We want families to look at this information before they apply for their specialty programs to make sure that this works best for their family. We'll show you later on exactly where to find all of those pieces of information. So our families have looked at the program locations and they've looked at the transportation options. The meat of the programs, though, are what they actually are. What's the content of the programs? At the middle school level, we have 5 different programs available. We have the International Baccalaureate Middle Years program, Math and Science, World Languages, Same Gender, and Traditional Schools. I won't have time today to go in depth into each of these programs, but I will give you just a brief overview of the programs, and then I'll show you how to find more information about each of these programs. So our International Baccalaureate Middle Years program uses the Prince William County curriculum. They place that curriculum within the IB framework that focuses on interdisciplinary natures. So it's looking at how does what a student is doing in science connect with what they're doing in language arts, or potentially connect what they're doing in social studies. Students are exploring global contexts and making connections with their learning to the world around them, not just the world in Prince William or in Virginia, but the global world. Okay. This program opportunity can be continued into 9th and 10th grade at either Unity Reed High School or Garfield High School. It is part of a larger continuum with IB. IB provides our students with a continuum of programs from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. Students can participate in any one of the programs or all of the programs as they choose. Okay. For the schools that house these programs, these are whole school programs, which means students will participate in this program if they attend that school. Okay. So the 4 schools that the IB MYP is located at: Bevel, Fredlin, Hampton, and Unity Braxton. Okay. Students who are zoned for these 4 schools do not have to apply for the program. They will automatically participate in the program when they attend that school. Students from outside of those 4 schools who are interested in attending these programs will need to complete a specialty program application. Our traditional schools. We have 2 traditional schools. They are grades 1 through 8. They again use the Prince William curriculum. Okay, they focus on they have the Prince William curriculum, and they place it into the framework of a traditional school. In these schools, students are going to be wearing uniforms. Parents and students are both, or families and students are both, required to participate in the school community. Okay, there are expectations for participation and for volunteer hours. These 2 schools are located at Pennington and Porter. Students who live west of Hoadley Road would attend Pennington, and those who live east of Hoadley Road would attend Porter. Our world language programs. This is our 3rd program at the middle school level. Okay, these programs allow students to earn 2 high school credits in a world language. Okay, so a student would take whatever world language they chose. We'll use French as our example. They would take French 1A in 6th grade, French 1B in 7th grade, and French 2 in 8th grade. French 1A and 1B would combine together to make their French 1 credit, and then they would also earn a French 2 credit. Okay, so students would be able to graduate middle school or finish middle school with 2 high school credits for world languages. Okay. Because of the nature of this program, the programs are only open to rising 6th grade students. So a student would need to apply for this program as a rising 6th grader so that they could complete all 3 years of the program. The languages available currently are French, German, and Spanish. The program locations: Program locations are Fred Lynn Middle School, Lake Ridge Middle School, and Parkside Middle School. And you can see the languages offered at each school in parentheses. We have French and Spanish at Fred Lynn, French, German, and Spanish at Lake Ridge, and French and Spanish at Parkside. Students are not able to switch schools for a particular language. Okay, they have access to the languages that are offered at their particular world language program location. The fourth program we have are our math and science programs. These are intensive studies in math and science. They work to make sure students understand the connections between those two content areas and have the opportunity to really dive into those connections, have an opportunity to develop their critical thinking skills around math and science. Okay, we want to motivate and challenge our students within this program. Students do not have to be in an accelerated math class in order to participate in the math and science programs. These programs are located at 3 schools: Graham Park, Marsteller, and Ripa. Our 5th and final specialty program at the middle school level is the same gender program. This program is only available at Woodbridge Middle, and it is only available for students who attend school east of Hoadley Road. This is because of limited transportation opportunities for this program. Within the same gender program, students are grouped in classes, in gender-specific classes for their core academics. So for math, science, social studies, and English, students would be in same gender classes. For all of their other coursework, they may be in mixed classes. So now that you know a little bit about the specialty program opportunities, their locations, and transportation, we want to briefly review the application timeline. Step 1 of the timeline is to start doing your research, gathering your information, getting to know what's available at your neighborhood school, what's available through these program locations. Every one of our schools every one of our schools that has a specialty program hosts 2 information sessions for families. Students are welcome to attend these information sessions to gather more information about the school's program. Our application opened on November 1st and will remain open until February 1st. All applications for specialty programs must be submitted by February 1st through our online application system. In mid to late February, we will notify families through the online portal as well as through school status that their application status has been updated and that they should check their status. Families will then have the opportunity to accept or decline any offers that are made by March 5th. Okay. When in between step 3 and 4, what we do is we look through the applications that are submitted. Students can submit up to 3 applications that they will rank first choice, second choice, and third choice. What will happen is we'll look at students' first choice applications, and we'll look at the number of applications as well as the number of seats available at each school. We'll place students to the best of our ability in their first choice program. If for some reason, say we have more applications than we have seats available, we will run a lottery for those programs. For students who are not offered a seat through the lottery, we will then look at their second choice program. We'll do our best to offer them a seat at their second choice program. And if we're unable to do that, we'll then look at their third choice program. Students do not have to submit 3 applications. They have that option. They can submit up to 3 applications, and they want to make sure that they rank their applications first, second, or third choice. If a student ranks 3 applications as first choice, you can't have 3 first choices, okay? You have to have 1 first choice. And so what we'll do is we'll look at the most recently submitted application and assume that is the student's first choice application. The other applications will be pushed aside and that final application will override them. Okay, so dates that are important to know for this: February 1st, you're going to make sure your application is submitted no later than that date. Mid to late February, you'll be on the lookout for your application status update. And by March 5th, you will have to accept or decline any offered seats. Nope. There we go. So I'm going to take a moment and show you our website as well as our specialty program application. To get to our website, you're simply going to go to pwcs.edu/specialty programs. This will take you immediately to our front page. You'll see at the top that we do have help sessions available for anyone who needs assistance with the application. They're held at 9:30 and at 4 p.m. each of the days listed, and you can access them through Zoom. On the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see our menu. You have elementary, middle school, traditional school, and high school programs, as well as a link to our application process, information about transportation, and VHSL eligibility for high schoolers. On the right-hand side, if you scroll down, you'll see all of the contact information for our office. We're going to go and look at middle school programs. This is going to give you a little bit additional information about our programs. You will eventually see this recorded session right here. And then you have our 5 programs at the bottom. If you click on the program, it's going to give you some more information about the specific program. It's also going to give you the program locations and the contacts at each of the programs, as well as their information sessions. Okay, you can see each school has 2 information sessions that they'll be holding. And then it also lists the attendance areas. So what schools are zoned for which program location. This information can be found for each of our 5 middle school specialty programs. In addition, on this page, when I go back to that main specialty program page, you'll see information about transportation. If you click on this, oh, sorry about that. Click on this and it's going to give you some basic information about our transfer programs and how transportation works. This is the express bus transportation. Okay, and then you're going to click on middle school specialty programs. These are the bus stops for next school year. Okay, you'll see listed under each of the school location or program locations the stops that are available for that particular school. Okay, please note when you see the House Student Leadership Center, it connects to an actual organization, not a family's home. Okay, so you'll be able to look to see, will one of these specialty program locations work for my family, or will we need to find a different solution? Once you've had a chance to look at the programs, you've had a chance to identify what program locations are relevant for your students, you've had an opportunity to look at the transportation options, then you're going to go into our specialty program application. Click on application process and apply here. And it will take you to our application portal. Okay, this is external from Prince William, so this is not part of Parent View or anything like that. This is a different application process. Okay, there are videos for you to help you through this process. If you have already created an account, you will simply log into your account. If you haven't, you will need to make sure to create an account. Okay, once I've logged in, I'm able to see there's different information about the programs that we have. Okay, I'm able to see my students. Okay, these are all of my fictitious students. You can add a student if you applied for an older sibling previously. You can add another student by simply clicking associate student and adding in their information. Okay. Once you have your student in there, you want to double check something. Okay, so I'm going to show you within Emma's account. I'm going to double check what her current grade is. So right now she is a 5th grader at Featherstone Elementary. And next year she will be a 6th grader at Graham Park Middle. Okay, this is based on our address. Okay, the reason I show you this is the system is going to show me what programs are available for a 6th grader who is zoned for Graham Park. Okay, the system is smart enough to make sure our families see what's relevant to them. So you're going to come over here to submit application. And then I'm going to begin the application for Emma. And I'll walk you through the entire application process. We're going to select the World Language Program for Emma. And it's going to say this is for 6th grade. And I'm going to say yes. She is zoned for the Fred Lynn World Language Program. So I'll click Fred Lynn. And she has a choice. Does she want to explore French or Spanish? Okay, Emma's going to look at French today. So we'll click that and we'll complete her new application. She'll go through, I'll double check all of my information that I've already entered. And then I'm going to answer the following questions. Okay. What is her gender, preferred name? Is her physical address different? Okay. Her student email address. I'm going to say that I'm going to enter my own student email address because Emma does not have one yet. But please feel free to, it will still continue to email the parent and the student. Okay. I'll check all of my address information. It wants me to confirm that yes, it is Virginia where we live. Okay. And I'm going to say that this program is her first choice program. Okay. Then I'm going to come down to transportation and I'm going to select the transportation option that works best for our family. Okay. In Emma's case, it happens to be Graham Park Middle. Then I have the question, does the student have accommodations documented with Prince William County Schools that can be shared by her current school with the specialty program to which the student is applying to assist in accessing the application process? This is not asking about supports that my student may need during the school year. This is asking specifically about the application process. If the answer is yes, I would check the yes box and list any relevant application or accommodations. Okay. If the answer is no, we would simply click no and move to the next question. If you do select yes, we will be in touch with your family and with your student's current school to discuss how those accommodations may look. Okay, then you go into the acknowledgements. I recognize that if accepted, I must continue with the program. Emma understands that, and she's going to enter her initials. Okay, I understand that failure to meet the program requirements may result in my removal. Okay, for high schoolers, this could also impact athletic eligibility. She's going to say, yes, they understand that, and add her initials. Okay, she's going to confirm that yes, World Language French is the program she's interested in applying for. Then I will certify as the parent or legal guardian. All of the information above is accurate. Okay, I'll enter my initials here. Okay, and then I will sign. Okay, and submit the application. Please note that once you hit submit, you cannot go back in and edit your application. Okay, we do encourage families to go ahead and do a print screen or a screenshot of their application so that you can go back and reference it later if needed. I'm going to submit my application. Sometimes it asks you to prove that you're human, sometimes it doesn't. This time it does. Oh, and I forgot to enter some information. So it will prompt you if there's anything that you have forgotten to add. Okay, try to submit again. And my application has been submitted. Okay, You want to make sure you screenshot or save this information. It has the email address associated with your account. It also has your order number. Okay, you will receive a notification in your email that you have submitted this application. If you do not receive that email, please check your junk or your spam mail. You want to make sure that you know where that notification has gone to. Okay. That was the application process. That's it. Very short, very brief. If your student is interested in applying to more than one program, you will fill the application out multiple times, making sure that you rank your programs appropriately. First choice, second choice, and third choice. Okay. I can return to my dashboard and I can see that yes, Emma's application for this program has been submitted. Okay. I'm not able to see the application anymore. That's why I took the screenshots, but I am able to see that her application has been submitted and is under review. That application status will remain until we release status updates in mid to late February. Okay. That is our website that walks you through our application. The last thing I have for you again is a reminder of our contact information. Please reach out to our team. Oh dear. Let me get to the last slide. Please reach out to our team with any questions that you may have. Our email address, aasp@pwcs.edu. And please check out our website, pwcs.edu/specialty programs for additional information about our middle school specialty programs.